Hi, and welcome to the very first episode of the Busted Stuff podcast. My name is Casey. It's November 24th, 2017. Let's get this started. Okay. Welcome. Thanks for listening, first off. This is Busted Stuff podcast. It's a podcast about Dave Matthews Band. Just everything related to the band. We'll talk about latest news, some histories, maybe some interviews, set lists. We'll go over the whole thing. And just want to get this out there right at the beginning. This is the first episode, and I'm new to podcasting, so I just want to apologize for all the mistakes that I am going to make as we move forward. I hope it will get better as we move on through the episodes. I'm hoping to work on things like my pronunciation issues, my slurring speech issues. That's the main things, and the technical side of it, I hope to smooth that out over the first few episodes. And just bear with me, be patient as I'm sorting this all out. If I blurt out any nonsense, just forgive me, okay? But this first episode, it's just going to be like an introduction to the following episodes. I just want to kind of lay some groundwork, see how I'm going to do this, get some feedback before I bust into like the more traditional episodes that will be starting with the next episode. So I'll just start off with a little bit about myself. My name is Casey. Like I said at the beginning, I'm living in Germany. I am an American, but expat, I guess is the word you would call. And been over here for about 6 years now, and I like it. I like it a lot. But other than that, that's enough about my personal stuff. I'll probably bring up some stuff later in whatever. Just ignore that. But I just want to tell you about my DMB histories, so to speak. Okay, I've seen DMB 18 times. I know for most people that's nothing. People hitting 200, 300 shows, whatever. But I've got 18, But my first show was December 7th, 96 in Lexington, Kentucky at Rupp Arena. I was 12 years old. My dad took me, and I really didn't know Dave Matthews Band at the time. He was a fan, and it was my first concert. The only thing I really remember about the show is them playing Satellite, because that's the only song that I knew at the time, and I liked it. But something happened after the concert, and I just got into the band and started following them, listening to them as much as I could, even at 12, 13 years old. And in the late 90s and early 2000s, I was doing the old snail mail CD, VHS, and DVD trading. So I've been around a little bit, and but I've been over 8 shows over the past 20 years or so, 21 years, 18 shows. And I guess that's what makes me qualified to do this, if anything, even though that's really a weak resume. Tell you about the goals for this podcast, if you want to call them goals. Just so generic word I'm throwing out there. So I just want to talk about DMB stuff, news, shows, set lists, maybe some opinions about whatever's going on, or certain songs or releases, and just to give my take on it. Maybe I'll have other takes. Maybe you guys can give me some input, some questions, but that's what I'm the basics of it. But we might have some different types of things going on in the future, like maybe get some guests from some of you guys. If you want to be guests, hit me up, and we'll maybe do some thinking about maybe some live setlist podcast streams once the shows start going. Do some just talk about the set list and the songs that are being played, positive and negative things about it, and probably throw in some different types of segments every now and then, like I don't know if there's any stories come to mind, or history things like that, or song histories. I would also love to hear what you guys would like to talk about. I'll be on Twitter and Facebook, or you can email me. You'll find all that information in the show notes. And yeah, so then just subscribe to the podcast RSS feed. You'll find that also info on my Twitter and Facebook, or in the show notes. And I'll be getting on iTunes as soon as I can. I know I have to submit the first episode, and that can take I don't know. It can take as long as it takes Apple to approve it. If it does get approved, maybe I'll have some wrong type of cover art, and they'll be like, nope, not happening, not happening. So resubmit it. But as soon as I'm on iTunes, I'll get that information out there on Twitter and Facebook and on the episodes coming up. But if you are interested in being a guest, reach out. We can, if you got a decent mic or use a phone, record on your phone, and maybe Skype or Google Hangouts, we can set something up. It would be great. Because I'm sure nobody wants to hear me talk every episode, all episode long. So I'm just going to say it. You want to be a guest? Reach out to me. We'll set up something. Who cares? We'll talk about whatever comes up. It could be fun. So, but right now, what is it? It's Thanksgiving. It's a day, Black Friday. I'm in Germany, so it's just a normal day here. But, I'm off work. We're cooking. We're getting ready for Thanksgiving. We're going to do it tomorrow. Invite my German family over since they have to work all week. Got up a big 22-pound turkey to serve all these 25 people that are coming. So that should be interesting. And yeah, it's a little different celebrating American holidays over here. But hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. That's why I'm doing this Dave Matthews Band podcast too. I think give me an outlet, because I know a few people over here that are DMB fans, even some crazy diehard fans that I don't even know in the States. But you can't talk about it with people just randomly, because they're kind of a niche band here, I guess you could say. Not too many people know about them, or maybe they've heard the name, but they're nowhere the same level of popularity here than they are in the States, which gives you a different aspect. We don't get as many shows over here, so I'm going to talk about that in a future episode, just the differences I've seen in shows here versus shows in the States. But yeah, I got some interesting takes on that. But here's how this podcast is going to work for the future. So I'm not going to release a podcast every week or every month. I'm just going to release it whenever it comes out. That being said, I'm going to try to release an episode on a weekly basis. I know that life things happen, time constraints. It may not be possible to get every week, but I will try. But there's no promises. But hey, if I'm inspired or some news comes up, there may be multiple podcasts in a week. I'll try to keep it up to date with all the news coming out about the new tour dates. Probably in the next few weeks, maybe in the beginning of January, we'll get the summer tour dates. That's what we're excited about. I'm hoping for something in Europe, but it's not looking that way, at least not for the spring. Maybe we'll get some fall dates, but who knows. And about the new album, there's some rumors, some stuff Dave said in an interview about trying to get an album out early 2018. There's still nothing official announced, but maybe we'll see here the next few weeks. Maybe we'll get some information before the year's end. And just a second, we take a drink of this beer. So that's about it for this first one. Just like I said, though, follow me on Twitter. It's at Busted Stuff Pod, or Facebook. It's facebook.com/Busted Stuff Podcast. Or you can send me an email if you want at bustedstuffpodcast@gmail.com. But Twitter and Facebook are where I will be most active. Or if you want information, send me something. Want to have a question, or you want to be a guest, just hit me up on those outlets. And I'm looking forward to this. I think it's going to be fun. I'll try to get the next episode out maybe early next week, maybe sooner, maybe later. Like I said, no promises. Just whenever I have time and I have the material there, because I don't want to just do short podcasts, 3 4 minute podcasts. I want to make sure I have a little bit more information, material to work with, just so it's worth the hassle for downloading and listening to. But I'm excited, a little nervous, I guess you could say. Hope you guys are ready for it. Um, yeah, and with that being said, bye. I'm looking forward to this. See ya.